As we hear a new eyewitness account of what happened early yesterday morning near 24th and Newport Street. Denver police say Jessica Hernandez, whose family and friends gathered near her home in Thornton tonight, was at the wheel of a stolen car and drove at an officer, breaking that officer's leg. Hernandez's parents said tonight they want a complete investigation.
Said that they're very broken. They're heartbroken. They're feeling very destroyed right now, emotionally, physically, mentally.
9 wants to know is checking out what could be a discrepancy in the original version of events as described by Denver police. Specifically, whether the officer injured was hit before or after the shooting. Doesn't necessarily have a bearing on whether or not the shooting was justified, but it is vital in understanding what happened out there. Investigative reporter Chris Vanderveen talked with a teenager who was in the car and says that officer was injured after the shots were fired.
Kyle, that's something that runs contrary to what we've been reporting for more than a day now. Tonight, we are going to put you directly in that car through the words of someone who was there and a video that was recorded inside that car an hour before the shooting.
Jessica Hernandez didn't know it at the time, but these moments in the back of what police say was a stolen car would eventually represent the final moments of her life.
More cops came from the back, like speeding, and they turned on their lights. And Jessie tried to drive away, and then they shot the windows.
Jessie's friend, also a teenager, saw everything as she too was in the car. She wants to remain anonymous for now.
When the cops walked up, they were on the side of her, and they shot the window, and they shot her. That's when she wrecked, and that's when the cop got hit.
You can see where the car ended up, next to that fence. That's where she says the officer was pinned.
She wasn't trying to run over cops or nothing.
A neighbor recorded what happened next. Police cuffed Jessie and placed her next to 25th Avenue. An ambulance without sirens on drives by. A witness says police assumed Jessie was a boy due to her short hair.
I was telling the police officers, that's not even a guy, that's a girl that was shot, that's a girl.
She too wants to remain anonymous for now. She didn't see the shooting, but says she definitely heard it.
Hearing gunshots, hearing 4 shots fired, one right after another consistently.
DPD maintains its officers felt threatened by the moving car, threatened enough to shoot the teen driving it. Her friends say they'd merely like those officers to know a little more about the victim.
She wasn't just a bad person that stole cars. She always tried to make you happy. She always tried to bring people up.
Denver's police chief stated yesterday morning that the officer only fired after an officer was struck by the car. Today's story certainly takes issue with that. All that being said, this does not definitively indicate wrongdoing on the part of any officer. By law, if an officer feels threatened, he or she can justifiably shoot. In this case, it's possible this latest version of events won't need to conflict with that.
Because everybody here is looking for intent. What was everybody's intent? But as you point out, it's quite possible, if this girl's version of events holds up, that Hernandez, the driver, didn't have the intention to harm the officers, but the officers on scene may have perceived a threat.
I think what it shows at the end of the day is that there's some more complexity to the story. We're still going to have to see how this all turns out in the end, but there's definitely a little bit more complexity, which is not unexpected in a shooting like this.
All right, just the very beginning of this. Chris, thank you.
You bet.